We are discussing the crucial point of IELTS examination. This is speaking. Under IELTS, when it comes to speaking, we have seen there are certain rubrics with which the testing takes place. The test takers are expected to display beautiful characteristics to get through this examination. Fluency and coherence. What do you mean by that? When you do not have basic knowledge in doing an activity, you may be doing some mistakes. Alright? Similarly, when you speak English, when sentences do not go together in a stream, maybe there is a sort of obstruction which gives a negative impact in the listener, which indicates your lack of preparation, which indicates your non-seriousness. So fluency in speaking is the first priority. At the same time, coherence. Coherence means the ideas you express are supposed to be logical and they should be arranged appropriately. There should be a beginning, some supporting details and appropriate conclusion. If that doesn't have automatically, I'm sure the talk is not absolutely what you have expected about. It will be going wrong. And lexical resource. So lexical means vocabulary. For any best talk, vocabulary, range of words, phrases that you have. So these phrases, all these are very, very essential for you. When you want to express something, you need a set of words, family of expressions. You see, always people say, when we ask a question, how are you? They say, I'm fine, I'm fine, I'm fine. But there are pretty good ways to express that idea. And even asking that, how are you, is not necessary. You could also say, how have you been keeping these days? How have you been up to? How are you doing? What have you been up to? See, these are the ways we can preferably ask. And the answers could be, I'm doing great, I'm doing fine, instead of saying, I'm fine. So I'm fine is a common phrase, sentence, which is almost always pervasive in the general talk. So if a candidate who speaks English uses less focused expressions, the communication is not going to be that much powerful. You need to use less preferred expressions to be able to manage with the context. Less preferred. Where, because you are taking an exam of international standard, you need to possess that kind of vocabulary. So lexical competence is very important for the IELTS test taker, because it is an international examination. You can't be simply managing with, but you have to be speaking English with simple, selective and dynamic words and phrases. Instead of using what you know, you may have to use the words which are very flexible and fluid, that are probably going to give the best impact to the listener. So lexical competence is very important. At the same time, grammatical range and accuracy. When we speak English, we don't mind about what is being spoken, and we have to be very thorough with what we can probably say well. So accuracy levels are important. So these days people do talk about English language, and they just do an activity, they are concerned about speaking, but they are hardly mindful about how they are speaking. Are they doing job well? Do they have any problems with the language? When you think about accuracy, you need to talk about grammatically perfect sentences. Please grammatically be perfect, and your perfection gives you an edge to succeed in the examination. At the same time, pronunciation. When it comes to pronunciation, you better have to follow some neutral kind of pronunciation. At least you should follow the pronunciation which is acceptable, instead of making people scared with your own native pronunciation. It is obvious that our English language has a lot of influence, the influence of mother tongue. So this MTI, mother tongue influence, is quite apparent in either Hindi speakers or Telugu speakers or Tamil speakers. Mother tongue penetrates, it is apparent in the foreign talk. So you have to take precautions, and you should be double careful about speaking English language. It comes automatically if you are really concerned about becoming better or trying to be something different from what you are today now. This is how you can do your IELTS examination in a very systematic and better way. So before we conclude the takeaways of this from a speaking point of view, the points that matter for the speakers are fluency and coherence, and lexical resource, grammatical range and accuracy, as well as pronunciation. Even if you can focus on these points, I'm sure you are going to do your interviews, domestic interviews for various companies and various. This competence in this structured manner will be so helpful to nail down any other task when it comes to your speaking activity, to be able to display your better characteristics for the best possible professional opportunities.